feel today? Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! And let's go to that! And let's go to that!
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's hunt now! Let's hunt now! Let's go! Let's hunt! We made it! And let's go to that! And let's go to that!
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this holler, we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin strap.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them.
He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man.
You already make the big money.
He's a man.
Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there.
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like.
Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We made it! And let's go to that! And let's go to that! It's a wrap. Game over.
This game is not over. It's just getting started right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. I'm AJ Jones. I'm back. Glad to be back because, hey, it is training camp time. Texans have already reported to camp. I'll be out there live starting tomorrow to give you live updates from the Texans training camp as they get ready for a new era under new head coach DeMeco Ryans. And everybody is intact. They got all of their draft picks signed under contract, including C.J. Stroud, who inked a 4-year, $36.3 million deal. 23.4 of that comes in the form of a signing bonus. And the young man got his money. He will be ready for camp practice starting tomorrow. Of course, Will Anderson signed a while back, 4-year, $35.2 million deal. 22.6 of that as a signing bonus. And, of course, the number 1 pick, Bryce Young, has signed with Carolina. So, again, all of the first-rounders have signed, are in their respective camps and getting ready for it. Texans going to opening up, again, training camp practice starting tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central. I'll be there live. So, again, I'll be able to give you some updates from there. I don't know if I'll do the show from there, but I'll definitely have live updates from each one of the training camp practices. And then Texans open up their preseason on August the 10th on the road versus the New England Patriots. That's going to be a very, very good one. And then they'll open up their regular season on September the 10th, and that will be on the road versus none other than Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, September 10th. But if you are really craving for some football, we got some that's going to be coming up very, very soon. The first preseason game will be coming up on, I believe it's August the 3rd. August the 3rd, the Cleveland Browns will host the New York Jets with you-know-who at quarterback. So that one's going to be very, very interesting. So, again, man, football time is here. I'm ready. I'm ready to get it in. So for all y'all who want to talk your team, I know y'all want to talk some baseball. I know y'all still want to talk basketball, but, hey, it's football season now, man. It's time to get it in and let's go. So go ahead and hit me up. You want to talk about your Cowboys. You want to talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers with their new offensive coordinator, new quarterback who hopefully will not be you-know-who down there, Baker Mayfield. If you want to talk about the Cowboys, of course, got to get that in. I'm expecting them to have a better year than they had last year, and they had a pretty doggone good year last year. I still don't think they're going to get over the hump of the Philadelphia Eagles, but I expect them to be the number 2 team in the NFC East and also a playoff team coming out as a wild card. So we'll see how all those things play out. Let's go ahead and get our first break right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
This is a BS3 network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for
Man Talk Monday. Woo!
Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central.
Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez.
And it's caught. Debo Samuel with the catch.
Michael Jordan can sense.
The Fro just got the king.
BS3 Network.
The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
My name is JM&E, and I won $500 on the lunch break for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
And you can too. That's right. You can win $500 cash in the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge. Going to be coming up in September. First week of the regular season. You got a chance to pick every game that week, from the Thursday night game all the way through the Monday night game. Use the Monday night game as a tiebreaker. Get more right than anybody else. And guess what? You'll win $50 cash. You can win that all the way through week 18. And then if you're in the top 6 at the end of week 18, you'll compete for $500 cash. You'll compete for $500 cash. Let's see, last year it was Miss Pearl, won it all. It was Erica with a K. It was Amber. It was Alexis. It was Alhai. And it was Emmanuel. And the ladies took it, man. The ladies were in there getting that money. So congratulations, Miss Pearl. Congratulations, James Jeter. And I'll be congratulating somebody next. So you just keep your ears right here for your chance to win on the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. All right, we got some breaking news. It came to me just as we got on air. Bronny James suffered a cardiac arrest situation yesterday at practice with USC. Fortunately, somebody immediately administered CPR to Bronny James, who's only 18 years old. He was taken to a local hospital, and the latest report is that he is recovering nicely and that he should be fine. So obviously there's a lot that that they've got to learn. I noticed I changed it from we to them because it's that family that matters. LeBron James, his wife, their children, this is their thing. Obviously it's going to be a big story because of who it is and who he's related to, but my sincere thoughts and fervent prayers go out to Bronny and the entire family that he'll have a complete, speedy, full recovery and can get back out there doing what he loves to do. I know a lot of folks want to talk about what's this going to mean to his draft class or his draft status and what's this, oh, he wasn't all that good anyway. Shut up. And I mean it. Shut up. I don't normally say those words because those were curse words in my house, but I'm saying them to those who got stuff to say. Shut up. This is a medical situation. This is a family situation. This is somebody's life. Not no damn basketball. So anyway, I hope Bronny gets back doing what he loves to do and that he has 100% of his health, no side effects to any of the treatments, medications that he's got coming up, and that LeBron and his wife can truly, truly be parents. Not basketball players or the wife of a basketball player, but parents. Some of y'all have little to no compassion whatsoever when human life is at stake. So again, please, if you're praying people, send your prayers up for Bronny and LeBron James's family. Bronny and Bronny's family. If you're positive thoughts, people send positive energy that way. If you are, whatever you believe, send the best of it towards Bronny James and the entire family. All right. So wanted to get that out. All right. Getting back to this football stuff as camps are getting ready to open up. Some have already opened. It's going to be exciting to see some camp battles because there are several teams that we'll be looking at to see who the starting quarterback will be, who some of the running backs will be. And I got word that, and I haven't verified it yet, if anybody knows for sure, that Saquon Barkley and the New York Giants reached an agreement on his contract, because a lot of the running backs, man, are talking about sitting out, talking about holding out, talking about, listen, if you're going to devalue the running back position, then, hey, go without it then. Go without it. So, we'll see how that works out. I hope that that's true. Again, I haven't gotten back from my sources yet, whether that's in fact true that Saquon Barkley and the New York Giants has reached an agreement. But again, there are other running backs around the country that, man, they've been treated like they just ain't it. Like they just are not a valuable part of the team. So we'll see how all that plays out. But again, those will be some of the things that will come out of these camps. And then we'll be looking at a lot of the first-year head coaches and the second-year head coaches to see how they can turn it around or get it started in their new situations. That's, again, one of the things I'll be looking at with the Houston Texans. So we'll see how all that plays out. The interesting thing for the Texans, they have not named C.J. Stroud as the starting quarterback yet. Right now, the battle is still wide open between Davis Mills, C.J. Stroud, and I guess even Case Keenum. So we'll see. I did kind of change my perspective a little bit on C.J. Stroud being the day one starter, because someone brought up a very good point. We don't know if this newly revamped offensive line is going to be able to protect C.J. Stroud. And the last thing you want to do is get a true franchise-type quarterback out there and get him hurt or get him gun-shy in his first year in the league. So if you need to send, and no shade to Davis Mills' family, his mama, his wife, his daddy, and them, but if you need to send Davis Mills out there, he's used to playing behind a suspect offensive line. If you need to send him out there for 3-4 games and get that thing locked in, and then switch over to C.J. Stroud, then do that. That's something that I could be open to. But I really believe and want C.J. Stroud to be the day one starter. That's my desire, because again, you know what you got in Davis Mills. Let's see what you got with a legit franchise-type quarterback with C.J. Stroud. So, again, I will be breaking him down. I'll be breaking down his mechanics. I'll be breaking down his timing. I'll be breaking down his ability to read situations. I did that a couple of years ago with Davis Mills, and I came out with exactly what we saw out of him, marginal. And a lot of my colleagues were like, oh, no, he's this, he's that, and he had a couple of good games, and then, oh, yeah, I told you, Yeah, overall, final grade, marginal. Very slow on the read, not able to really throw guys open. A lot of time in the pocket, needed a lot of time in the pocket. So is the offensive line really that bad, or is Davis Mills just taking too long to process or figure out or make a play, whatever the case may be? What I graded him as is what it ended up being. And I'll do the same with C.J. Stroud starting tomorrow. All right, let me take a break. Be right back with more right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
What do you get when you watch or listen to the Life Happens podcast? Well, I'll let them tell you.
Kim and I are both ministers of the gospel, and what Life Happens podcast is a beautiful balance by simply taking our spirituality with real life and merging it together to create a beautiful balance. And that's what we do.
BS3 Network proudly presents Life Happens podcast, where Christianity and life intersect. Live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. If you're looking for a sports program that gives you the flavor.
Washington Commanders? Really?
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
That pulls no punches.
Thuggish act. by a thuggish actor.
That gives you some humor.
Praise everything LeBron does and never criticize it.
If you want a show that gives you good times, then this is that show. BS3 Network proudly presents.
I am Cole Johnson, and welcome to
Cole Sports with a Z. Every Friday on Patreon and every Saturday on YouTube, Spreaker, and all other outlets.
When the man said that Sharifa Barksdale is on the verge, she's getting ready to set the world record. And I lost concentration and I fall off that hurdle. I was devastated.
Posición game ball de Canadá, dominando la prueba y la estadounidense Sharifa Barksdale está en.
When I fell over that hurdle, it ended my career. And then all of a sudden, my coach grabs me by the throat. And I was going through some paperwork and seeing that he had spent 10 years in prison. And I was just like floored. It turned to domestic violence. I was terrified. So if I left, I don't know if I was going to die. My family didn't know if they was going to get a phone call to say that Sharifa was dead.
8910 radio, I said a vehicle took a shot at me. Southbound on East 95th.
Broke the U.S. record in the 400-meter hurdles. Represented the United States of America.
Imagine being on the biggest, fastest roller coaster that you have ever been on. That's the way my life was for 20 years.
I never had no trouble out with her being what she wanted to be. Because if this is what she wanted to be a runner, well, God bless her, and he did.
All right, y'all. I'm back here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E. Streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. And on Talking Team Tuesday, I'm talking Team Dr. Sharifa Barksdale. Because, man, I tell you, what a powerful story she has. What an awesome opportunity to work with her and Javar and Gentel, affectionately known as Grits. What's up, Grits? Also, good folks like Big Mike Riggins, and the JM&E team. Just glad to be a part of the family. All right, let's go ahead and get ready to get into this thing and get into it some more. Just got word that the NFL will have the Orlando host the 2024 Pro Bowl game presented by one of the phone companies. I got to say, the Pro Bowl last year was a lot better than Pro Bowls have been in a long time. The skills competition and the other events surrounding that were a lot better than the horrible game that they have been trying to present to others as an exhibition of their league's talent. It was anything but that. So I think this is the way to go for right now. I hope they tweak it a little bit to make it even more interesting and compelling, but playing the game itself is just not necessary. Again, do it just like you do the All-Pro announcement. They don't play an All-Pro game. You announce who got it and you celebrate them. That's exactly what they need to do with the Pro Bowl when it comes to playing that game. So flag is great. The exhibition is great. The skills competition is great and all that. But trying to play that game, man, it's just like horrible. Worst of all mid-season exhibitions or end-of-year exhibitions, whatever you want to call it, for any league, bar none. Little League is better than that damn Pro Bowl. All right, so getting back to it. Some of the quarterback battles or quarterback recent changes that'll be very interesting. Of course, we talked about the Texans and CJ Stroud, but when I look at Carolina, they've already named Bryce Young as the starter out there. And is that going to be a situation where they're going to roll with him no matter what happens, come what may, let the young man make his mistakes, get back in there and go from there? Or is it going to be a situation where he's always having to look over his shoulder because they're trying to bring in, another quarterback because of his mistakes? I say let the young man play. Obviously, there's no more quarterback controversy in New York with the Jets. There's no controversy with the Giants. There's no controversy with the Cowboys. There's no controversy with the Eagles, but there is definitely some question marks with Washington going with Sam Howell. Highly touted coming out of college. Obviously didn't see much out of him because they kept bringing in quarterbacks. They kept bringing in quarterbacks to try and be the starter. But now they say that he is the one that they're going to go with. And they brought in Byron Leftwich to be the quarterback, the offensive coordinator. So we'll see what Leftwich, who played the position very well, can do to get Sam Howell functional there in Washington. Again, if we look at the AFC East, no controversy with Buffalo, no controversy with Miami. I guess no controversy with New England. I think there should be. I definitely think that there should be. I think that Zappe played well enough to be considered the starter. All this Mac Jones talk in the offseason and everything like that. Mac Jones to me was a attitudinal embarrassment. Skills aside, the way the young man handled himself with his attitude was an embarrassment. It's not what you expect a New England Patriots quarterback to carry himself. And I don't care if he was 100% right. It was the delivery of the message that was embarrassing. In my opinion, again, I don't care what anybody else thinks. It's not our opinion. It's my opinion. He was an attitudinal embarrassment. And that's a lack of maturity. That's a lack of professionalism. And those are the kind of things that need to be fixed before that young man will have any consistent measure of success. And just amening everything that he did and why he did it. And, oh, yeah, that's just passion, everything like that. Baby, I don't care how much you cover up dirt. It's eventually going to get out and be what? Dirty. And that's what that young man showed with his attitude, his professionalism, the way he carried himself. And I don't care how much of a good father he is. I don't care about if he's religious and a good Christian and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't matter. An attitudinal embarrassment. And again, I think that there should be a quarterback challenge there in New England. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So moving over to the other teams in the AFC South, no quarterback controversy in Jacksonville. They got their person. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Colts do. Very interesting to see what the Colts do. Again, put Anthony Richardson in there, let him hand the ball off to your stud running back, let him do some things that he can do, and then let him get comfortable, and then let him become the playmaker that you drafted him to be. Just my opinion. Tennessee, again, Ryan Tannehill, how well is he going to play? How consistent is he going to be? And if they're going to let Malik Willis go out there, then, brother, I'm telling you, he is not going to be out of work long. If they're trying to hang on to Will Levis and make him the backup to Tannehill, God bless him. God bless him. All right. NFC South. Again, Tampa Bay. What's it going to be? They'll have a limited measure of success with Baker Mayfield. But after that, the league figures out his tendencies. The leagues figure out what he learned in the offseason and everything like that. And it goes bad quickly. He begins to blame everybody but himself. And then you're going to have to fall back on the young quarterback that, in my opinion, should be the starter day one. Atlanta, they're going with the young man out of Cincinnati. Why not? Let's see what you got there. New Orleans, they brought in their quarterback, Derek Carr. Still very questionable on that whole organization being run by Dennis Allen. Very questionable. And then, of course, what's going to happen in Carolina. All right, so now let's go to the AFC North. No questions with Cincinnati at quarterback. No questions with Pittsburgh at quarterback. No questions with Baltimore at quarterback. And no questions with Cleveland at quarterback. I think that you'll see the biggest jump at quarterback in Cleveland now that you got Deshaun Watson for an entire season, entire workout, preseason, training camp, all of that, I think you're going to see a huge jump in his play. Now, I know folks are already coming at him for some of the comments he made once they checked into camp the other day. Listen, the young man can play football. I'm not into the legalese and all that. The young man can play football, and I expect to see a big jump out of him. Okay. I said NFC North. That's AFC North. NFC North with the Minnesota Vikings, of course. No issues there at quarterback. Of course, Chicago. See if Justin Fields can make the next big step. Detroit, I think they're going to be fine with what they're doing. Jared Goff. Again, the question is going to be Jordan Love. Jordan Love. Going to be some questions. So we'll see. A lot of the players are coming to his defense, talking about how great he looks, how poised he is and stuff like that. Great that they're talking him up and surrounding him as a team, but got to see him do it. Got to see him do it. I think he's got a big, something off his back with the former quarterback up there not being there. So let the young man play. Let's see what he can do. Matt LaFleur, you be you. Give that young man something that he can work with and go from there. All right, let's go out to the AFC West. Again, no issues with Kansas City. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. And then Denver, I think you're going to see a different Russell Wilson now that you got Sean Payton out there. I expect him to have the biggest jump at quarterback there. Oakland, I don't know what they're doing. Don't know what they're doing. I know Jimmy Garoppolo got cleared and should be ready for camp and everything like that, but still, don't know. Don't know. And then the Chargers, no issues at quarterback there. I expect them to make a big jump. On the NFC West side, Seattle, can Geno Smith do it again? Can Geno Smith do it again? San Francisco, questions. Can the second-year player, Brock Purdy, can he have a duplicate year to he had as a rookie, but for a full season? We'll see. I hope so. I do. I like Brock Purdy. I like the story that they created there in San Francisco. But again, DeMeco Ryans not being there, it's going to be very interesting. And then, of course, you've got the Arizona Cardinals. I think they're going to be in trouble. And I feel bad for Kyler Murray because he's going to take all the brunt of it, and it's not him. That's a trash organization with trash leadership, had a trash head coach, and, you had players that were hurt and what have you, and you expected that young man to do miracles, and he just couldn't do it. So we'll see how all that plays out. But again, I'll have it live from Houston tomorrow, Houston Texans training camp. I'll be checking in with my colleagues around the country, getting training camp news from them. We'll try and get Carolina Blitz back on, Vashti Hurt, try and get some of my other guys on from the perspective. And of course, I'll be hollering at King Doc and them up there with the Cowboys and everything. But we're going to be bringing it to you live as training camp gets started right now. All right, let me get ready to get out of here again. Sincere thoughts and prayers going out to Bronny James, to the family. Bronny James had a cardiac arrest incident yesterday on court with the USC Fighting Trojans. So please, again, this ain't basketball. This is life. This is family. Keep them in your prayers. All right. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I truly do love you. There is nothing you can do about it except tune in tomorrow for Winning Wednesday. And hey, man, y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. All right. All right. We'll be back.
My name is JM&E, and I won $500 for lunchman for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today, it's Tuesday, July 25th, 2023. Number 1. President Joe Biden will sign a proclamation Tuesday establishing a national monument at 3 locations, Illinois and Mississippi, honoring Emmett Till and his mother, Mrs. Mamie Till Mobley, on what would have been Emmett Till's 82nd birthday. Emmett was just 14 years old when he was abducted from his uncle's Mississippi home, tortured, and killed. He was falsely accused of touching a white woman working as a clerk in her husband's store in 1955. The woman, identified as Carolyn Bryant, later recanted the accusation. Number 2, the administration of Mayor Eric Adams in New York City is advocating for federal reparations to address health and wealth disparities among Black New Yorkers. The report aims to provide closure for historical federal, state, and local policies that have contributed to the lack of equitable access to wealth and wealth-building opportunities for Black Americans. Overall, the debate surrounding reparations and addressing racial disparities in New York City remains contentious, with contrasting views on its relevance to public health and the responsibility of the government to address historical injustices. Number 3, stroke risk more than doubles for African Americans who smoke compared to their non-smoking peers, according to a new study. Researchers reviewed more than a decade of data from participants in the Jackson Heart Study, the largest in the U.S., assessing cardiovascular risk factors among African Americans. The study found stroke risk was 2.5 times higher for current smokers compared with never smokers, and increased 2.3 times for people who smoked 1 to 19 cigarettes a day and 2.8 times for those who smoked more than 20. Number 4, the state of Florida will now teach students that Black people benefited from slavery because it taught them useful skills. The Florida State Board of Education's new standards for African American history is part of a 216-page document about the state's 2023 standards in social studies. Florida Teachers Union says new standards are a disservice to students and a step back from teaching African American history. Number 5, higher education often costs more than most families can afford. Our celebrity CPA, Katrina M. Kraft, gives us 5 cost-saving strategies that may help in the What You Need to Know newsletter. One of the tips is to take classes at a community college to cut tuition costs. More than half of states guarantee transfer to a 4-year state school with an associate's degree. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Asking for help is wise. None of us make it in life successfully alone. Join me Tuesday live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedian Damon Williams, contributor Cameron Riley, and producer Ahmed Gordon, and special guest AJ Joyner, founder of Blooksy, as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.